let's get into the Center City Arena, something that I think you live with every single day, almost every single hour of the day.
Yeah.
It's been almost 2 years now since the team announced that it intended to build something called 76th Place and have it ready by the 2031-32 season. Are you on schedule to make it happen?
Yeah, I mean, our timeline has always been that for us to get approvals by the end of this calendar year, and then we would go into deep planning in design, which will take about a year, and then really start demolition in 26. And that gives us ample time to be open by 2031.
Why is the team doing this? Why is it a good business decision?
But really simple. We're the only team in the state of Pennsylvania that doesn't own their own home. You look at, the Phillies and Eagles used to share a home, and they decided they wanted to control their own destiny, control their own home. 27 of 30 NBA teams play downtown. That's still soon going to be 28 because San Antonio just announced in conjunction with the city of San Antonio a multi-billion-dollar redevelopment downtown to bring an arena downtown. And so, we're going where the puck is headed. We've enjoyed our time at Wells Fargo, but that building doesn't have what our fans today and what basketball fans want from an amenity, a sightline, and from a premium perspective that the newer arenas have.
So elaborate on that. How will it become more fan-friendly?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a difference. So that building was built in 1995, which means it was conceived it opened in 95, 96, which means it was conceived in 1990. Okay. And so you think about that, being over, 30 something years ago, the world's changed, designs have changed. And so the goal is a smaller, more intimate bowl is kind of what the future is for these, whether you think of Milwaukee or Intuit or Sacramento or any of those buildings. There's just a more intimate feel. Our current building doesn't have the premium space and the entertainment space that other buildings have. When you look at it, we have one half-court lounge, for all of the lower level, and it's just not enough. And kind of the facilities. I mean, I remind people we don't own the building, but we as a team had to put $12 million in to redo the locker room and owner areas. Marc, my day job, I'm in the apartment business. I wish somebody would pay to do my kitchens and bathrooms for me, right? So, there are lots of things you've heard me talk about, whether it's schedule or amenities or, convenience. How about this stat? 45% of all Ubers to the Wells Fargo Center during a Sixers season start in Center City. 45%. That's not David Adelman's data. That is Uber's data. Okay.
Yeah, but that bothers me from the standpoint that why don't they take the subway? And that's going to be a big part of you attracting fans to Center City is public transportation.
Well, so look at it this way. That 45% of fans that are starting in Center City, that means they live or work there. They're already there. Okay. And yes, the subway will be a big part. Okay. I live in the main line, and for me to get on, I've done this now like over 20 times to test it out. Hop on the regional rail, and I'm there in 22 minutes. Okay. For me to go to a game during the season midweek, leave my house in Haverford, takes me an hour. Okay. 22 minutes is a lot better than an hour. And when you think of the ability to we don't have the opportunity to give our fans a pregame experience. Okay. Our fans don't go to Xfinity. We have the data. Our fans don't go to Xfinity Live pregame, and we have no postgame activities for them. We want to, when you see what happens in other downtown venues, people go eat first, they go to the game. Our games are over at 9:00. Go get a drink, go do something. That creates energy and vitality to a city. Now people in Philadelphia aren't used to that, but again, 27 teams around the league do that and have that energy. And that's really what we want to bring back. And as a Philadelphian, for me to help bring Center City back is really important to me.
There's certainly been a visceral reaction on both sides, and a survey conducted last year by the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation. I know you could probably cite the figures by heart, but for the benefit of our audience, 93%, this is according to the survey from the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation, 93% of business owners, 94% of residents, 95% of visitors oppose the arena. Opponents of the arena worry about the development destroying Chinatown and its cultural identity while displacing longtime residents and businesses. I know you've made it a big part of your pitch to try to allay those fears. What have you told those people, and have you made any progress?
Yeah, so first of all, I think this is a really important fact. There was only 156 people interviewed in that survey. I think people, facts matter. Okay.
Right.
So when
Right.
you have under 200 people surveyed for a survey, the headline numbers of 93%, again, I'm not saying they shouldn't do surveys, but that's not a statistical, relevancy as far as I'm
Hmm.
concerned.
Hmm.
My view is this arena should be good for Center City and good for Chinatown. And what I've said publicly, and I've said it to members in Chinatown, is what is Chinatown's future without the arena post COVID? What industry is left in Chinatown? What's happening is, and this is fact, more Chinese people live in the Northeast Philadelphia than in Chinatown right now. They've been emigrating to, there's a big section of Northeast Philly where they are. And so I'm just saying, like, let's work together to create some vibrancy, cleanliness, public safety, street cleaning, cameras. Those are all things that we've committed to paying for to help bring that part of the city back, which is really, it's kind of the desert right now. When you look at Market East, 2 blocks from City Hall, you've boarded up retail. The Gallery Malls at running at a very low occupancy right now.
Earlier this year, Comcast Spectacor, the owners of Wells Fargo Center and the Flyers, launched a plan for a sports and entertainment complex featuring hotels, residences, restaurants, shops, and a small arena for musical performances and whatnot. This would support the current sports complex, which includes, of course, Citizens Bank Park and Lincoln Financial Field. And reportedly, the Sixers were invited to join, and the team said no. Why?
We said no for a bunch of reasons. One, we want to control our destiny. Two, I think people talk that they've reached out to us. They've only reached out in the media, by the way. But the truth, so we don't take it seriously. And two, most importantly, when someone is openly subverting your plans, both publicly and privately, why would you want to be partners with them? I'm just being honest. But none of that steers away from us moving downtown, controlling our own destiny, having our own home like the other teams have. Comcast is entitled to protect their single arena monopoly in the city, which is what they've been trying to do. This other plan you're talking about, they've been talking about it for 20 years. I hope it happens. We need the jobs. Let's build it. For 20 years, I've been saying they should do something at the sports complex, but we don't need to be there. And I hope it gets done without us. I don't know that hotels and all of those things are getting built in phase 1. I hope they do. I don't know what that's going to do for traffic. John Middleton did an interview a couple of weeks ago where he said his number one pain point is traffic. So now you're going to take away surface parking, add structured parking. I don't know what that does for the Eagles, tailgating experience. So I have a lot of questions as a Philadelphian, as a developer, forget my own interest as a, someone building a competing project. But Philadelphia needs the jobs. If we can, between my project and their project, build do $4 to $5 billion of construction over the next 10 years, let's build it all.